From the Bob Mills Weather Center, meteorologist Stephen Nehrenz.
As we roll on into the month of August, a month that typically produces more 100-degree days across portions of the state, kind of where we stand as we get through this continued brutal summer stretch. We've had 24 100-degree days and counting in Tulsa, and we're trying to add a few more to that. Southwestern Oklahoma, look at how many 100-degree days they had. 54 in Hobart, 56 in Altus. That is just nuts. Now, of course, they've been drier out there from a humidity standpoint, so that allows the temperatures to climb. That tells you where we've been so far. In those 24 100-degree days through yesterday's date, so up to today, this is where that stands compared to some of our record hottest summers by 100-degree days. 2012, just a little bit behind where we were at the pace of 2012 and behind where we were in 2011, thank goodness. And some of those brutally hot summers, 1980, some of the 1930s Dust Bowl era summers, we're not near that pace, thankfully, so we're not going to end up #1 on that front. Another way to gauge how hot this summer has been, the number of heat advisories that have been issued in the eastern Oklahoma area, issued by the National Weather Service in Tulsa, kind of covering eastern Oklahoma. By my count, I may have to go back through this again, but by my count, I think today is our 39th heat advisory, and you can tell where that stands compared to some summers here recently as far as the heat and the humidity. Looking from Tulsa International Airport, sunshine, a little bit of haze on the horizon. There's a little bit of a reason for that. We're in the low 90s, heat index already above 100. That upper level ridge, the heat dome, centered off to our north and west, and as it does during the summer, that steers the jet stream to our north, steers all the kind of main upper level flow away from us. I mentioned the haze on the horizon. There's a little bit of that Saharan dust plume lingering in the area, not too much. Now, a much thicker plume of that Saharan dust out in the Atlantic will start to head westward next week. But over the next day or two, again, shouldn't be overpowering or impacting air quality. But if you see a little bit of haze, it's partially related to that dust plume. By next week, again, some of that thicker dust may make it into the southeastern United States. But again, not a huge impact. The heat dome sits on top of us over the weekend, slides back to the northwest early next week. That's generally kind of the one hope we have during the dog days of summer, is to get the heat dome just at least not centered over us anymore and allow little systems to come dropping in from the north. And that's what will happen by the middle of next week, just enough moisture to bring us at least a few more clouds and trim the temperatures back by the middle of next week. If you're out the door right now, it is steamy, low 90s to upper 90s for our temperatures. Heat index exceeding 105 already in some spots and just a light breeze. Heat index nearing 110 this afternoon and over 105 Saturday and Sunday. So sweltering weather for the weekend. Early next week, we trend that down just a little bit. Highs this afternoon, again, as I just mentioned, upper 90s to around the triple digits. Later on tonight, we're going to look for at least a few isolated downpours overnight and early tomorrow morning, generally east of the Highway 75 corridor through the morning hours, through the overnight and early morning hours. And then by tomorrow afternoon, we're back into the upper 90s to near 100. Sunday, pretty much the same story as well. There will be a little more wind to deal with Saturday and Sunday. Through early next week, no real change to the dog days of summer there, but by Tuesday and Wednesday, that next little weak storm system moves in. A few more clouds, at least some off and on showers possible, and highs dropping back a little bit to the mid-90s.